My favorite fucking thing about getting older is that I have officially graduated with honors from being a hating ass, jealous ass bitch. Now, there were many points in my life where I would say that, like, I'm not jealous. I lied through my fucking teeth. And if I just started this episode and your knee-jerk reaction was, I'm not jealous, you probably are. It's fine. But let me tell you, when you stop being a hater, I swear to fucking God, guys, life gets easier. It gets more enjoyable. Good things flow your way. This isn't some woo-woo bullshit, okay? And if you don't know, if you're like, I don't know if I'm a hater, you probably are. Because when you are released from being a hater, like, you just don't give a fuck. Do you know what I mean? And also, being jealous, that doesn't mean that, like, you don't have insecurities. It doesn't mean that sometimes you're like, God damn, I wish my tits look like that. Or like, fuck, my skin looks like shit. I wish it looked like this. That's just going to happen, unfortunately. But as far as looking at people, looking at their accomplishments, looking at their physical attributes, where they are in their career, and not being able to immediately feel this like, because that is exhausting. Okay. Now, I say like, that's my favorite part of getting older. I understand that getting older and not being a hater are not mutually exclusive. Fuck, most old people are haters. And there are plenty of young people that are going through awkward phases, that are insecure, and they don't hate anything ever. For me, on my journey in life, age and experience are the two things that really fucking kicked me into gear and made me stop being a hater. And you can stop being a hater at any point in your life, by the way. I just happened to do it at the point in my life that I did it. And I have I could teach a masterclass on it. And I'm going to give you like a little masterclass of it right now. If you have 200 terrible traits, characteristics, behaviors, I have fucking 400. Okay. And you just work on fixing this one, I swear to God, your life is going to get so much better. Okay. You guys, no offense, you just be doing the most. Oh, I need to fix this. I need to work on this. I need to be more like this. Oh, I'm in my era. I'm in this era. Fuck your fucking era. Okay? I said it. Nobody gives a fuck about your fucking era. Fuck your wellness girl era. Fuck your Pilates era. Fuck the eras. Okay? Because you're expelling so much energy talking negatively about yourself and comparing yourself to other people because you think that that's going to make you feel better about yourself. And as a reformed fucking hater, it doesn't. Okay? It makes you look like a dick and it robs you from opportunities. You're expelling all of this energy thinking the way that you're thinking subconsciously. You might not even be aware of it because you're just so used to it that you really think that you're going to be able to be in your fucking wellness girl era. Bitch, you're spending all your time comparing yourself to some bitch you don't know. You think you're going to have time to meditate more, work out more, eat healthier, be a harder worker. You're not. You're fucking not. Okay? My credentials are that I once was a hater. And I was also surrounded by a lot of haters. So I was just collectively in a cloud of hate. And I had no idea. Had you had asked me then, I'd be like, I don't hate. And I'm like a super positive. Okay. I did that. And now I'm out of it. Those are my fucking credentials. The number one reason we're haters is we're insecure. We don't want to admit it to ourselves. We definitely don't want to admit it to other people. Like, that is the worst feeling, to be called out for being insecure and having to admit it. But like, we don't like how we look. We don't like where we are in our career. We don't feel good about where we are in our relationship. That's the number one reason why we feel insecure. Number two, society and the media perpetuate jealousy and comparison, especially amongst women. They want us to feel insecure. The more insecure we are, the more we'll continue to be consumers. We're also led to believe that success is super limited, especially for women, right? It's like there's only so many slots of success and we're all trying to fight for the same spots. If you're just now having the realization that that's fucking horseshit, welcome. It's a great place to be. But once you realize that there isn't a lack of success to be obtained, and that you can make your own success, and that we're all not fighting for the same seats at the success table, you start to let go of that comparison and that judgment and that hate. And, society and the media definitely doesn't make it easier for us. It's sexy to pin women against other women, because now we just have a bunch of really hardworking women that are just fired up and, working 20 times harder than we need to, because we were led to believe that we're fighting to the death for a slot, for a seat at the table. And we're not. That's just horseshit. For me, my insecurities and my journey with insecurities has significantly changed a lot over the years. But I will tell you this. I constantly changed who I was to fit into other people's stories. For me, my insecurities changed so much, okay? Like, I was changing who I was. I was changing my interests, or not even changing. I was playing up aspects of my life, of my personality, that I thought fit best in other people's stories, because I thought that validation would cure the insecurity. Guess what? It doesn't. I was having whiplash trying to figure out who the fuck I was, because I was this person for this group. I was this person. Oh, I'm going to work. Oh, I'm fucking business, Christina. Like, I was having whiplash constantly trying to figure out who the fuck I was to fit into other people's stories that, quite honestly, I didn't even want to be in their fucking story in the first place. I do this thing now where, like, I'm getting older, and I'm trying to not be a piece of shit. So when I do things, I try to pay attention to, like, where does that come from? Which I assume is probably what you do in therapy, right? With another person. But, like, I'm not there yet. So I'm just, like, doing it myself, where I will react to something, or I will act a certain way, and I'll be like, oh, that's kind of weird or toxic or not super cool. Where does that come from? And I have learned something as I've gotten older. I grew up with the most beautiful mother. She still is, like, supermodel beautiful. Now, for the sake of this argument, let's put aside the fact that she is so wildly intelligent and kind, and my mother went through things in life as a young person that most people would not be able to get out of and get to the other side. Just very resilient. Let's forget all of the really important aspects of her and just focus on the fact that she is very visually pleasing to look at. I knew this as a kid. I just knew it because I wasn't stupid and I had eyes. But I also had constant validation that my mom was smoking hot. Like, everywhere we would go, to this day, my mother would be hit on. Guys at school would constantly, guys I dated, like, constantly I was being told, your mom is so hot, your mom is a smoke show, like, yada, 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 yada. Which, that alone is fucking exhausting as a kid to have. But, like, shout out to Carmela. She's a smoke show. My mother, when she would talk about herself like she was a fucking troll. And I would watch people compliment my mother, and I would see it in her eyes that she wouldn't believe it. Like, she would genuinely think people were bullshitting her. And listen, my mom didn't know that the way that she talked about herself would have any effect on me as an adult. Like, she got pregnant with me at 19 years old. My mom was just a girl trying to figure it out, not feeling secure. But it did have an impact on me. And it really kind of warped my perception of beauty, because my mom was always talking about the things she wanted to change, the things about herself that she didn't like. And here I was being like, what? You're fucking, like, hot. What? So that was one part that kind of fucked with my insecurity to this day that I've been able to acknowledge as I've gotten older. The second being, which is, like, kind of hard to verbalize. I was just going to say my ass cheeks are, like, already clenching up, but I really do have, like, the world's worst fucking wedgie. I have a bathing suit bottom on. Hold on. Okay. But my ass cheeks are going to clench when I say this, because my mother was always getting outside validation from men. I think as I got older, I thought physical beauty was only there if it was acknowledged by men, especially verbally acknowledged by men. But that's not weird. I think a lot of us think that. And I think that we've been kind of conditioned to think that, like, you dress for the male gaze, you act for the male gaze. And I think there was definitely a period of my life where I was a pick me, because I associated validation, being beautiful, being successful with attaining validation from men. That's like crazy. Anyway, that's something that I've noticed as I've gotten older. Then I was just in a constant cycle of not surrounding myself with the right people because I was not giving people my authentic self. So I was not attracting the correct people that were supposed to be with me on my journey. Then I was in a toxic relationship. And listen, I understand the saying, which is like, your confidence should just exist on its own, right? Like you should just, nobody should impact your confidence. You shouldn't rely on your partner to make you confident. Your partner shouldn't not make you, like your confidence is supposed to just be so fucking rock solid that nothing could, okay, I get it. Okay, yeah, that sounds great in theory. That sounds so great in theory. Like, hey, be so unapologetically confident that like nothing can sway that. That's not fucking sustainable. I'm sorry. It's not fucking sustainable. Sometimes we fall in love with the wrong people, and sometimes those wrong people don't treat us well. And if you're already not feeling great about yourself and then you're in love with someone and they treat you like shit, it's really, really difficult to feel good about yourself. I went into that relationship already being at the lowest point in my life. And my ex 1000% preyed on that, right? Because it was very easy to manipulate me and mold me and keep me where he wanted to keep me when I was already at the fucking bottom anyway. I wasn't going to question anything. I wasn't going to stand up for anything because in my mind, I was like, I'm so lucky to be here. I'm so lucky someone loves me. I'm so lucky someone thinks I'm pretty, which that also goes to say, if you are in a relationship, a friendship, a romantic relationship where the power dynamic is like really fucking off, fucking run, bitch. That shit is not sustainable. Sorry. Like if the power dynamic is so off, it's really hard to grow together and to respect one another. If somebody is always just on one side of the field and the other person is always on the other side. Granted, there should always be ebb and flow. Someone will be up, someone will be down, but that should change. If one person is always like all the way up and one person is all the way down, after a while, that's going to be very difficult, right? So like my ex knew if he probably loved that I didn't realize my full potential, because if he had half a brain in his head, he would know that if I ever woke up one day and realized my full potential, I would be fucking out of there, right? But like I already didn't love myself. And then he has a wandering eye. He's openly talking about other women. He's texting with other women. He's not talking about me in any positive way. How the fuck am I supposed to love myself, right? So like, sure, like I probably shouldn't have gotten in a relationship. I didn't love myself. How could I love another person? That's another thing that people say. Yeah, that's easier said than done. We do it all the time because we seek validation because we think the validation is going to fill the void. It doesn't. I was in a really long-term toxic relationship, and I can tell you from experience, the validation doesn't help. You need to love yourself. And if you don't love yourself and you get in a relationship with the wrong person, they are going to prey on the fact that you don't love yourself and they are going to keep you fucking down. Here's my one fucking trick from being released of the grips of feeling threatened by people around you. Number one, you've heard it a million times. Confidence is the sexiest thing, period, fucking end of episode, okay? I know that's, people say that all the time because it's like a sexy thing to say, like, oh, confidence is the best. Think about it for 2 fucking seconds. I live in Los Angeles, like the land of the most physically pleasing people to look at. I have met some of the most visually aesthetic people in my entire life. And then I get to know them and their personality sucks, or they're a hater, or they just have icky energy, and it physically alters them. They look different. Like you get the ick, and then you look at them and you be like, you know what, now that I look at them, they're like not really that hot, because people are just drawn to confidence, right? And like, of course, being visually pleasing, that's the first thing that people see. Of course, that's going to get you initial attention. But as far as like maintaining somebody's interest, it has to be so much more than that. And there have been so many times where I have been like very sexually attractive to men, and I've been like, why? This person is like not physically what I would normally go for. But it's because they were just so confident in who they were. They were so set in who they were. They weren't intimidated by anything. They weren't trying to be anybody. They were just them. And that was so fucking sexy. Number 2, all you can do is be your fucking self. That sounds so cliche, but it's so true. Okay. I can try to be the shy girl. I can try to be the clean girl. I can try to be the mysterious girl. But at the end of the day, I'm not. And there are girls that are naturally that. They're going to play those roles better than I ever could because that's just who they are. I might be loud and insufferable and annoying, but that's me. And my job is just to be me and find the people that vibe with it, and the people that don't, oh well, I'm not put on this earth to be friends with everybody, to date everybody, to work every job. Like, that's fucking exhausting. And if I continue to be other people and then I still get rejected, well, that fucking sucks. At least if I'm myself and that's my constant variable throughout life, that's a really good way of gauging where I'm supposed to be and who I'm supposed to be doing it with. Well, how do I really know who I am? Spend time with yourself and then spend time with different groups of people and compare notes. Okay? Who are you when you are truly by yourself? Did you just hang out with someone and you come back and you feel revived and you feel motivated? Then you are probably being yourself. Did you come back from hanging out with somebody and you feel exhausted and you feel stressed? You probably were playing a character. Start paying attention to how you act around certain people, how you act around yourself, who you are when you feel the most relaxed, and like compare notes. It's very fucking easy if you just pay attention. We pay attention to everything, all these external factors, but we never pay attention to like what our body is actually telling us. Again, my rule is things are going to be ever changing in your life. People come in, people leave, you get new jobs. The only constant variable that you should always maintain is being yourself. Unapologetically just fucking being yourself in every arena of your life. At work, with your family, with your friends, in relationships. If you just make that your constant variable, you will quickly see where you're supposed to be and who you're supposed to be around, okay? Because if I give you me and you don't like it, oh, well, on to the next. That's it. That's all I can do. Because I'll tell you what, if you start giving people a version of you that isn't you and you're attracting the people that aren't meant to be in your life, it is so exhausting maintaining relationships with people that are not supposed to be there. And then you just get so fucking caught up in your own lies and your own narratives that you just don't know who you are anymore. I mean, that happened to me in my last relationship. I got out of that relationship and had like a full-blown identity crisis because I was like, I don't even know what hobbies I like and what things I'm interested in because I just played up the parts of myself that fit into this relationship. And now I'm left and I'm like, where the fuck do I belong? And that's when it's important to spend time by yourself. And that's what I did. I spent time by myself. I figured out what I love to do and I try to do more of those things. And when you do the things that you love, you end up being around people that are supposed to be there. And then like all the good shit just happens. This is not to say you're not going to feel insecure. You're going to feel insecure. Okay. This is not to say that you're not going to have days where you feel like absolute shit, but those days, they just have to do with you. And that is way less exhausting. If you're not feeling good and you find yourself comparing and being like for an example, I have some breakouts on my face today, right? But like, it fucking is what it is. It's life. Okay. Things could be worse. I have fucking zits on my face and I have hives on my body, whatever. But previously, I would start obsessing and looking at people on the internet or friends or family or people in my life and be like, oh my God, their skin looks so good. What's the fucking point of that? Because I have just made it a point to be who I am and be okay with it, that I just trust the process and I trust the journey and I trust the things that are meant to be mine will be mine. And if I let go of wasting all of that energy comparing, then I'm never going to attain those things. Their appearance, their success, their relationships, it doesn't take away from yours. If anything, it makes you look like a bad bitch. The first time you acknowledge to yourself, like somebody's like, damn, that bitch is hot. Oh, bitch, you are there. I swear to God, you are there. I will never forget when I got into the relationship that I'm in now. I remember audibly like saying like, oh, she's so hot and being like, I would have never fucking done that in my last relationship because I thought like, oh my God, if I verbalize that they're hot, then they become hot. Here's the thing. Margot Robbie is hot. Zendaya, hot. Me acknowledging that they're hot doesn't make them hotter. It also doesn't make me less hot. And not acknowledging that they're hot doesn't make them less hotter. They're just hot. It is what it is. It doesn't take away from your beauty. And when you're around women, and I started picking up on it because I would surround myself with different sorts of women. And I remember being around women that were like the first to like praise other women. Like, oh, she's so hot. She's so great. She's so successful. And I remember being like, that sounds really cool to do that. Like, that's awesome. So I have to burp. Okay. That was really cool because it was confidence. Because I'm like, wow, you are so confident in who you are that you're able to like acknowledge how hot another woman is in front of your boyfriend. Whoa, ballsy. But that's what it is. It's confidence. And that is so fucking dope. I also think for a lot of us, our goalpost, it keeps moving. It'll be like, okay, I will feel confident when my skin is clean. I will feel confident when I lose weight or when I gain weight. I'll feel confident when I get that promotion at work. I'll feel confident. And you keep moving the goalposts. And I hate to burst your bubble, but you will achieve all those things and you still won't feel confident because your confidence is embedded in things that you need to obtain. If your confidence is just who you are right now at this given moment, that doesn't mean you love everything about yourself. That doesn't mean there aren't things about yourself that you want to change. But if you can just find a way to be confident in who you are, your talents, your skills, the things you bring to the table, there's so many things about you that should make you confident in who you are. Then when all of the extra stuff happens, like your skin looks clear, your hair grows, you get that promotion at work, it's just a bonus. You know what I mean? But like your baseline confidence should just be what you got going on right now, which again is easier said than done. I understand that. So naturally, I have to pull this up. I ChatGPT'd. I like literally didn't even know I don't even know where it is. I have made the shift. Like it's been so obvious that I've made the shift because I didn't realize how exhausting it was being a hater. And you get to a point where you're hating so much. I'm telling you right now, you don't even know you're doing it. Like you don't even know. It's like your knee-jerk reaction to anything good that happens to you, to somebody else. It's like resentment, it's anger, it's jealousy, it's comparison. And it really does rob you of so much fucking happiness. I swear to God. And I didn't realize how bad it was until I got out of it. And I was like, oh my God, that was terrible. But now I'm like, fuck, bitch, I could teach a whole masterclass on this. So I ChatGPT'd because I was like, please, I probably have aced this. I said, what are some tips on how to stop being jealous? Okay, I definitely could have elaborated more, but I haven't read these over, but there are 10 things that come up, which is like a lot, but I'm going to go through them and I'm going to tell you, I've probably done all of them. Okay, the first one, acknowledge your feelings. Admit you're feeling jealous without judging yourself for it. Accepting is the first step to managing it. Listen, if you can just do that, you're good. Honestly, that's it. Just do one. If you can acknowledge something, bitch, I swear to God, if you can acknowledge it to yourself, huge. If you can acknowledge it to somebody else, if you can say, you know what, I think I was being jealous. You have done so much self growth. Okay. Just do one. Acknowledge it. Acknowledge you're being a jealous little bitch. And I swear to God, it is like the most freeing thing ever. Number 2, identify the root cause. Figure out what's triggering your jealousy. Is it an insecurity, fear of losing someone, or feeling inadequate? Yes. Okay. That's kind of what I've been doing. Like I think about, growing up. Again, all things you probably do in therapy. If you're already doing it in therapy, props to you. I'm not in therapy. This is my therapy, which, budget reasons. But if you can figure out why you do things, it just makes you catch them a lot easier. Like just that comparison I gave about my mom. When I am in the mirror and I'm like, I need to change this, I'm able to think, oh my God, my mom did that and she was beautiful to me. So that makes me less likely to do it. So if you can figure out why you're doing something, like check yourself when you do it. Ooh, why am I doing that? Am I doing that because I just don't feel great today? Or am I doing that because my partner makes me feel inadequate? And then you can have a fucking conversation with them. And then I'll tell you what, if you have a conversation with them and then you're like, hey, you're making me feel jealous. And they're like, you're crazy. You're making shit up. You kill 2 birds with 1 stone because you find out that you're being jealous and you knock the motherfucker in the face. Practice gratitude is number 3. Okay. Well, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I skimmed over 3. Not because I'm not gracious. Oh my God, I'm very gracious. I just don't take much time to stop and celebrate my wins. That's something I'm working on. Maybe we can all do it together. That was my goal for this year, is that I go from like one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. And then at the end of the year, I'm like, oh my God, I did so many cool things, but I never stopped to celebrate them. So 3 is a working title. 4. Work on self-confidence. Yeah, no fucking shit. Building self-esteem can reduce jealousy. Set personal goals and celebrate small achievements to feel more secure. I like that. I fucking like that, bitch. Figure out what you're good at and do a lot of it. Be your own like hype girl, okay? It feels really good to like to achieve things, And instead of waiting for somebody to give you the opportunity to achieve it, just fucking make the opportunity. Go do something. If you like something, You know, my best friend was telling me earlier that she did something over the weekend that like made her feel really good and made her feel really inspired. And we were like, yeah, great. Instead of waiting for somebody to keep giving you that opportunity, just go do it. Figure out what it is. You, even if it's in a different format, if you find something that you're good at, it feels good to be good at things. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it feels good to be like, bitch, I fucking slayed that. Do that. If you're like good at shopping, go fucking pop off, sis. Drop a bag. God, hold on. You know what I just realized? This isn't open. I haven't had one sip of water. I'm choked. God, that felt good. Okay. What number are we on? 5. Challenge negative thoughts. When jealous thoughts pop up, question them. Are they based on reality or assumptions? This is what I've learned. 99% of the shit going on up here is like exacerbated. It is usually 100% worse than what is actually going on. Stay out of this as much as possible. I'm pointing to my brain if you're listening. Stay out of there. I constantly think everybody hates me. Everybody's talking shit about me. And the reality is people hate me. Like they do. But like probably not as many as I think. I'm constantly like, oh my God, everybody hates me. Everybody thinks I'm a horrible friend and I'm a horrible girlfriend and a horrible dog mom. And then like people check me around me and they're like, hey, you're being fucking stupid. And I'm like, okay, I needed that. Thank you. 6, communicate openly. If jealousy is affecting a relationship, talk about it calmly and honestly. Avoid blaming. Guys, I'm telling you right fucking now, if you're in a relationship with somebody and you are verbalizing that something is not making you feel good and their immediate reaction is to get defensive, run. Okay? This is a very common knowledge, but when you're balls deep in a shitty ass relationship, you don't come to. People that are defensive, like if someone is constantly like, you're doing this, they're probably doing it. That's the reality. And if somebody is not doing something and you say, hey, this thing that you're doing makes me feel inadequate, and they're not doing it, it's very easy to be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to make you feel that way. I won't do it. It's very, very simple. If they get it all defensive, if they call you crazy, bitch, fucking run, okay? Because I'll tell you what, when you're in a relationship with somebody and you have a gut feeling, and I'm telling you right now, if you're a woman especially and you got a gut feeling, you're right. You're right. That is your qualification. Your gut feeling is your qualification. And all these people that are constantly telling it like, oh, you're in your head. I did say that sometimes in your mind, it's a little bit worse. But if you have a gut feeling something is wrong, I would put my life on it that something is wrong. Okay? And the worst part about being with somebody when something is wrong and you know it in your gut and they convince you for years and years and years that nothing is wrong is that you lose that intuition and you have to retrain your body how to get it back. And it will affect your next relationships. So if you got a gut feeling, bitch, I swear to God, go with it. Sorry, that was a little like I was talking to myself for a second. Oh, well, we're going to have an issue with number 7. Limit social media use. Well, I mean, guys, come on. That's how I make my living. So I'm the worst person to say this. But I will say, what does it say? Constant comparison can fuel jealousy. Yeah, no shit. Take breaks or unfollow accounts that make you feel inadequate. When I was going through my I had a really dark time in my life when I moved to LA. This was at the height of like fitness influencers, you know, like the OG, like Alexis Renz, like just like really, really hot girls. I did unfollow a lot of accounts and I felt bad because I was like, well, they didn't do anything. But it was just like, do what you got to do. If they make you feel like shit, because like you're not knowing who you are or what you want yet, unfollow them. It's like, do what the cool thing about social media is you can curate it to be what you want it to be. And more times than not, I mean, sometimes you get exposed to shit where you're like, how the fuck did this end up on my For You page? But you can curate what you want to see. And if you feel like, I also will say that a sign for me that I'm feeling really insecure is doom scrolling, trying to be aware of that, because the cycle there is I'm insecure, so I doom scroll, and then doom scrolling makes me feel more insecure. So if you can be aware of that and try to limit the doom scrolling, I think you'll be Gucci. But just like take breaks, you know, get outside, touch grass. I'm working on that one too. 8, gonna have an issue with this one too. Practice mindfulness, meditation or mindfulness. Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. If you do that, great. I don't do that. I meditated. I just took a fucking puddle jumper in Mexico and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to meditate. And I meditated on the plane, but it was like a life or death situation. I mean, mindfulness, meditation, it looks different for everybody. If that's just taking a bath, if that's just getting off your phone, if that's taking a walk, I think just doing things in which your brain can just chill for a second and not be overstimulated, that's quite important. I do that. Focus on personal growth. Invest in your own hobbies and interests to build a sense of accomplishment or fulfillment. I feel like we already touched on that. Like, do shit that you're good at and pop off, sis. 10, seek support if needed. Sometimes talking to a friend, therapist, or a counselor can help you gain perspective. Basically, 10 is like, hey, you can't do 1 through 9. I can't. Go fucking get professional help. Let me know if you want more tips or advice on a specific situation. No, actually, I could have wrote this myself, bitch. ChatGPT, you call yourself a fucking robot? I could have done that. I will say this. Out of this list, I think the most important things is acknowledgement. If you can acknowledge when you're being jealous. And again, if your knee-jerk reaction is getting defensive and being like, I'm not a hater. I am not. You probably are. So if you can just acknowledge that, you're already doing good. Thumbs up to you. Number 2 is just doing things that you're good at. Doing things that make you happy, doing things that make you feel sexy or cool or fun, and surrounding yourself with people that support your journey and who you are. And I think start paying attention. There are people in your life right now that you are not being your authentic self with. And it's a hard reality when you hit it, because you're just going to get to a point, and this sometimes just comes with age, where you're just so exhausted that like you can't continue to play this persona that you've been playing to maintain a seat at their table. That's what it is. And you get up one day and you go, dude, I'm 30. My back hurts. I'm tired. I have no time. Who was I supposed to be for this person? Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be the mysterious, cool, nothing bothers me chick. And then you get to a point where you're like, I can't play this narrative anymore. So start taking a look at the people in your life, because there are people there right now. Maybe it's your fucking partner. Maybe it's, whoever the fuck. I don't know. I'm not in your life. You are. There is somebody or people in your life that do not fit in your journey right now because you are not giving them yourself. And then pay attention to the people that you feel like you can be yourself totally with, and do more of that. And again, I swear to God, guys, it's one of the, you got to just trust me on this. I know you're like, why would we trust you? You're a dumb creator. And it's true. But wow, man, this has been going on for a while. I think being a woman is hard too, right? Like, women have it definitely a little bit more difficult, because women typically are jealous, because we've kind of been conditioned to be jealous, like I said, because that makes us great consumers. But I think, even for me, I was in all individual sports growing up. And I think that's also something that I've realized had played into my jealousy, where it's like, I was a gymnast and I was fighting for a seat at the table because only so many of us can go to states and regionals, And that's an interesting take too, is that I did a lot of those kinds of sports. So I was always fighting for my spot. And then that just naturally made me really defensive in my life. I really feel like I was always feeling like I had to defend myself. But if you can start paying attention to why you are a hater, this sounds ridiculous, but I swear to God, guys, it's like the most freeing thing ever. And also another thing I want to mention is I wasn't successful yet when I stopped being a hater. And I think that's important to mention, because sometimes I would see people that were like really successful or like doing really well at something I wanted, and they'd be like not jealous or a hater. And I'm like, yeah, that's easy for you. You're doing the fucking thing you want to do. I already did the work before I got here, essentially. And I don't think I would have gotten here had I not finished my work. And I'm glad I didn't get here until I finished my work, because I think back several years ago when I was still a hater, and I'm like, oh my God, thank God I didn't kind of end up in this space, because it would have been very, very challenging for me to navigate. And I know a lot of people in this space that are fucking haters, and I feel for them because it's exhausting. And like, I go to events now, I go on brand trips, I go on things, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, it's just work. That person's hot. She's got great tits. I love her career. That person's cool. Like, it just is. And I also don't have great tits, but like, I also like my career, and I, whatever it is, dude. Like, there are plenty of seats for all of us. It looks dope as fuck to audibly compliment people and genuinely be a hype. Not just, and by the way, this isn't just running around and being like, I'm a feminist, support all women. I think we're led to believe like, oh, if you just do that, if you just run around and tell people you're a feminist and like, yay for women, that everybody will just be like, oh my God. No, there are a lot of people that run around and do that are the biggest hater, So there's work that needs to be done. You can't just like write feminist in your bio and then boom, all of a sudden you're not a hater. But if you do the work, if you are to do the work in anything in your life, practice this. I swear to God, I'll see you next Thursday, right? And at least from today till next Thursday, pay attention to it for 1 week. Pay attention to how you react when there's success that's not surrounding you, when you see people obtaining or having or being in situations that you wish you could be in. Start noticing how your brain reacts, how your body reacts, and the things that you say. And I swear to fucking God, bitch, if it's what I'm saying and you start making the work, cut me a check, because I could have wrote this thing way better than ChatGPT. Fuck ChatGPT. Anyways, I love you guys so much. I will see you next Thursday. We do this every Thursday. That's just kind of how it goes. All of our socials are in the bio. I'm Christina. I have a fucking wedgie, so I'm going to go pick this out of my ass and chug a bottle of water. And I'll see you guys next time. I love you.